So, right, just to finish off, talking about beginners, if I'm starting in SEO, how do I use your music analogy to get myself a kickstart so that I don't waste time on the wrong things and focus on, the traditional, let's say, SEO approach? How do I use your Harmony approach as a beginner to move quickly forwards?
Yeah, the beginner part, and I actually was a speaker at SEO Rockstars last year and talked about this very topic. And you know, as musicians, that in any beginner, what do you start with? Scales.
Right.
You start with fundamentals. You start with rudiments as a drummer. You know, you're learning when you hit two hands together, that's a flam. When you're learning, so any beginners needs to know the fundamentals. There's several fundamentals that, and you know, I mean, if somebody just did the top 5 fundamentals, they would rank 80% better than anything out there. Because to me, the internet is like a third world country. The internet. When you look around, you see junk houses, meaning because imagine if society was built by DIY and Home Depot. Imagine if every of your neighbors built their own house. That's the internet, by the way. If every neighbor that you know built their own house, not a builder, they built their own house, that's the internet. So you got a ton of skyscrapers and buildings that literally have no plumbing. Skyscrapers everywhere with no electricity. Meaning they don't have the fundamentals. So if you want to get good at SEO, you've got to learn plumbing. You've got to learn the basics. So if you know the basics, then the stuff on top is just adding that extra flair. Meaning you can be a great musician if you know how to keep a rhythm, how to keep a chord or whatever. But if you want to be Britney Spears, you got to have that extra flair. So, but that's not what you're building your success on. You're building your success on the rudiments, on the scales, on the fundamentals. So I'd say that the beginners just need to start with the fundamentals. Yeah, the building blocks, the fundamentals. What are those building blocks? So, you know, what are the top 3 ranking factors? Number 1 factor, search intent. There's no other. That is the top ranking factor. Search intent, period. Like, argue with me, anybody, but search intent. You got to know the searcher's intent first before you can do anything.